right, welcome to the Coach's Vault. My name is Brian Brazil. Hope you enjoyed your summer. We're going to get back at it again on a weekly basis for the rest of the year. Got a lot of requests to talk about goalie drills and goalie warm-ups over the summer, so that's where we're going to start. So I got Jimmy in cage. He's the starting keep at Austin Prep, plays for Coach Smythe, and we're going to take you through a proper goalie warm-up. First thing when we're talking about a goalie warm-up is it is about the goalie, not about you as a coach, not about your starting attackman or whoever you got warming the keep up. So we want to put ourselves in a position where we can hit our target on a pretty consistent basis. So if I'm starting stick side high and I can only hit stick side high from 10 yards, I should only be at 10 yards. And what we're focusing on for our goalie is muscle memory, right? We just want them getting used to stepping and repeating the motion in the same direction over and over to get hot. We don't need the ball to be moving hot. You know, the closer you are, the slower you can shoot it, it's going to be the same reflex time for them. So I try to stay pretty consistent of where I can hit the net. I try to spare them my offhand as often as possible. Sometimes I'll put it in my offhand so they can get a look at a different delivery. But, you know, I'm keeping it fairly tight to the cage so I can hit on a consistent basis, and they can work on really finding those pipes. So, you know, this is all off stick high now. I did one arc stick side high. Now I'm doing one off stick side. I'll also try and change up my delivery from underhand to overhand, 3/4, sidearm. But if you can't do that, then don't. More important for the goalie is just, again, getting the muscle memory of repeatedly stepping the right way. So some of that as we go through, everything to Jim's stick side, he's stepping with his left foot first, which is proper fundamentals, right? Everything to his off stick side, we'll go off stick hip now, Jim. He's stepping with the opposite foot first, which is proper fundamentals. So we want to work on that. And you see as Jim presents, just get ready for a shot. Right, his ready position. He's bent at the knees, but he's not so far that he's given up a lot of the net. A lot of goalies, as they present when I wind up, will dip even further. That's certainly a habit we want to break. We want to keep them just athletic, bent at the knees. But it's not athletic, bent at the knees, and the wind-up comes and they bend further. Right, that's dipping. That's a problem we don't want. He's also got his hands comfortable distance apart. Most times we tell goalies to take their top hand, put it on the plastic, take their bottom hand, put it at the elbow. And then we're presenting out in front in a comfortable way. So he's not, you know, here, boom, grab that, and getting really awkward and robotic about it. He's also not back here, which you'll see some kids do, right? He's just comfortable presented out front. So let's assume we went that whole arc off stick high. Now we're going to go stick side low. You know, now we're really focusing on that step. Hands getting to the ball as quick and clean of a line as possible. It's not really important how they're bringing their stick to the ball, as long as it's coming from as straight of a line from the stick to where the shot ends up as possible. So you'll see, you know, off stick hip is one breaking point where kids get confused. Some want to come over, some want to come under, some want to pull on a straight line, and really it's player preference, whichever way they can get there the fastest. You know, Jim seems to be an under guy, and I got lots of kids at Merrimack that'll save that overhand, you know, over the top like this. Doesn't matter, whatever the most efficient way to get there is for you. And then we'll go off stick low. Good. Another thing you'll notice, and then we really try to focus on in our goalie warm-ups, is the step, the initial step to the ball as the stick's coming through, and then the gather step. So if you watch Jimmy's gather step here, right, it's that second step that brings his balance back to his feet. Good. So again, the warm-up's about your goalie, not about your starting attackman or you. And then after we give him a variety of shots and he gets used to the muscle memory, now we'll start putting it all over the place. See if he can get there. You know, this is not necessarily the time to just open it up and shoot 90. You can pick up the speed a little bit, but now he doesn't have that comfort of knowing exactly where the ball is going to go every time. So we're trying to get him used to reading and reacting to the ball and your shot as it's in the air. And then once he gets comfortable with a couple laps of that, you can start letting him fly a little bit. That was obviously way too early. We didn't even get much of a warm-up in. But that's the gist of a proper goalie warm-up. It's simple, and it's about muscle memory for your keep. All right, and so the last thing you want to be looking for when you're warming up your goalie is that he's always centered in the frame of the cage. So if Jimmy's too far off to his pipe, right, I have a lot to shoot at here. If he's too far over in the other direction, he's leaving a lot short side. So as a shooter or a coach, I can always see if his angles are good. He should be centered in the frame of the cage. If we move over a little bit, you know, he can adjust his angles to remain centered in the cage. That's what we're looking for. And there's a number of different ways you can do this. You can walk a flat arc. You can walk a 5-step arc, a 3-step arc. You can be a high arc. It doesn't matter, I'd say, especially at the youth level, but at all levels. It's more the goalie's preference and their build. You know, bigger guys are going to want to walk smaller arcs, tighter to the cage. Smaller guys are going to want to get out a little further. You know, Jimmy's tall but skinny, you know, so he might want to walk a little higher arc. I would say as a coach, the only thing you really need to focus on at a developmental level is that he's staying framed within the cage.